All right, number 10 is yes. 12 is no. 14 is yes. 16 is 1. Ooh. 18 is 3. 20 is 12.92. 22 is 2.28. 24 is 1.2.
So we don't keep it in fractions?
Start in decimals, end in decimals. Yeah, the problem started with decimals.
You did?
Yes.
On number 24, it's 2.4 to 3.6 equals k to 1.8.
Yeah, but even
Those are decimals.
22.
20 and 22 you could do either way. But it does say round, if necessary, round to the nearest hundredth, which kind of implies decimals. But those you could either do fractions or decimals. It would be right either way on those. Number 26 is 63.37. 28 is 3. 30 is about 341 cars. 32 is 500 feet. 34 is 19.33. 36 is 2.56. 38 is -3. What questions do we have from that lesson? 20.
Actually, no. I know what I did wrong. I just turned it into like 12 and 12 seconds. I thought you had to do that.
What other questions? No other questions?
Maybe you're trying to find it.
Okay.
Oh,
You said what?
36.
36, and you're trying to say what?
32.
Okay.
You got pretty close to it.
36. This is on page 115.
Me too. We did the same thing.
It says round to the nearest whole number.
That would help.
True.
Okay.
So there you go. Problem solved.
There you go. Problem solved.
We do not need to do 32 then.
34 is 6. Wait.
You said 34 and 36 on
Yeah. 36 is 3 minus y over 4 equals 1/9. And we are expected to solve it for y. So what would we do?
We would.
It's a proportion. How do we solve a proportion?
Distribute
Straight across.
And that's how we multiply fractions. How do we do it? Yeah, when there's an equals, we cross multiply, yeah? No, not the same thing, right? So 9 times 3 minus y, what are we going to have to do with that 9? We're going to have to distribute it. So 9 times 3 is what? 27. 9 times negative y is what?
9y.
Negative 9y, right?
That's what I did wrong. I accidentally left out the 9 for some reason.
Oh. And then 4 times 1 is 4. Now what do we do?
Minus the 27.
Minus 27. So negative 9y equals negative 23. And then we divide the 9 off. And y equals 23 ninths.
Would you do it minus the negative 9?
How is that negative 9 attached to the y? Is it added, subtracted, multiplied, divided? So how do we get rid of it?
Divide, but would you divide negative
Oh,
9?
I did it right because I ended up with a positive, but I didn't write it. Yeah, I see what you're asking. I see. Yeah, I did that. I just didn't write that.
Yeah, somehow, since I didn't have the 9, I just somehow divided the negative off.
Well, you would, if the 9 wasn't there, you'd divide by negative 1. And so what you should have gotten was positive 23. It assumed, like,
Yeah,
if that was, yeah.
9y minus 27 equals 4.
Yeah, you got to keep the order right. So if you didn't like the y being there, you'd have to change it and make sure the negative follows it. So like it would turn into negative y. So negative 9y plus 27.
Like, can we use this?
Right? So watch those negatives, make sure they stay with whatever they're supposed to be.
Can you
So
like parentheses 3 minus 4 parentheses 9?
yeah. So you could have added a step in here where we do 9 and then 3 minus y.
That's what you should. That's what I.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, yeah. That's great. That's totally great. Yeah, and then you get the decimal equivalent and get the rounded to the nearest hundredth, and whatever that would be 2 point something, 2 point, whatever 5/9 is. Is that a repeating decimal? I think it is, isn't it? Somebody punch it. 23 divided by 9. Enter. Seriously.
2.55.
Quit forgetting your calculator.
I didn't think it was right here.
Oh, well then pull it out. What are you doing?
I'm doing it.
Well, don't.
25.5555.
Yeah. I thought it was non-ending, non-repeating. Divide by 9 is. Divide by 9 is. Divide by 11 is. And those are the only ones that I just like carry around randomly in my head. Well, 3 is, I guess. And 6. Look at that. I have 4 in my head.
Do you have to make it a percent?
2 on what now? I'm sorry.
The second one, this one. You have to make all the percents.
Probably.
I didn't really. Because it was a non-repeating.
Let's do the next lesson.
Like all of them were infinite numbers.
What?
It was like 4 repeating. Like 4 point something repeating.
You might have to round.
Oh.
All right.
I didn't get it right. But I know how to do it.
What did we do? Like probably 14 through 38 or something? Is that
14 through
47.
42.
It shows right here.
I think you wrote. Yeah, I think you made your 7 look like your 2 look like a 7 on accident. All right. 14. What are these things? Are these things that I need to know about? Nope. It's just Bree getting home. Okay. 14 is a 14% increase. 16 is a 170% increase.
I was confused on that one. But I got it right. I got it though. Yeah, I thought it would.
What?
I got 70%.
I knew it was either 100.
Oh, because it was 1.7. I follow what y'all are saying. Yeah. Number 18 is a 49% decrease. 20 is a 12% increase. 22 is $3.42. Make sure you put units. 24 is $3.03. 26 is $5.84. 28 is $3.70. 30 is $824.25. 32 is $47.99. 34 is $93.75. 36 is $35.52. 38 is $22.84. 40 is $116.18. 42 is about 41.9%. What questions do we have on those? 30 and what? Go ahead. What do you say?
What was 24 again?
$30.03.
Okay, I just heard
30,
it wrong.
30, because I didn't know how to do the money ones.
I don't know why I couldn't figure out the 22 through 42.
I don't either.
I only got 14.
Figure those ones out.
We're gonna do 30, but when y'all are watching the notes videos and taking notes, don't just sit there and write stuff down that I say. That's not enough to learn the material. Stop long enough, watch the video slow enough that you can say, do I understand why the weird-haired dude did what he did? You need to check in and make sure you understand what's happening. Make sure and engage mentally with the video. Does that make sense? It's easy to not do, because watching the notes videos kind of just feels like busy work of something that you just kind of have to sit there and do, but it's not. Okay? And if you're consistently missing a lot of the homework problems, then something is not quite working with the way you're doing the notes videos. I'm not yelling or griping, I'm slowing down enough to tell you to slow down enough to engage with the material. There are some topics maybe that you just get confused on, and it's hard, and you're going to have to ask a question about it, and that's fine. And a lot of those will get fixed if you do the notes video, and if you don't watch it at 2x speed and just write down what's on the screen. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Okay, 30. We want to find a discount price of a $1,099 computer. And it has it's not that cheap. It's kind of an average. I would call that average for a laptop. I would call that on the low average side for a desktop.
We bought our computer like that one.
Yeah, y'all built your computer for like 15. Yeah.
Never bought a laptop for girls.
And we're taking a discount of 25%. Okay? 25% off, right? So, when we have percents, you're always finding a percent of a number, always. Percent of a number. So what does of mean? Multiply. So we're always going to multiply the percent times something, right? So we also can't generally just do math with percents. We have to convert them to something else. We have to make them either a decimal or a fraction. So if we want to make this a decimal, what do we do? Move over the decimal twice, because we're multiplying it by 100, dividing it by 100, right? So we're finding 25% of 1,099. What is 25% of 1,099? You know, when you do that, I have to have her repeat back to me what she just said, because I can't hear half of what she tells me. She beat you. Just let her win this one. You can try again next time. All right, Gemma, what is the number? 200 and what?
$274.75.
Okay. So this computer is not going to cost $274.75 to buy. That doesn't make any sense. That would be 75% off. Yeah, that would be 75% off, which would be a great deal. So now we need to figure out how much we're actually paying for the thing. So what do we need to do?
Subtract.
Yeah. Subtract that from this. Right? What? Is a great price? It's a great price.
It's a top price.
Well, it's 25% off. $824.25.
Not a terribly priced computer.
It really is not.
$200 off like that.
Yeah. $800 for a $1,000 computer. Yeah, I wasn't being exact. I was giving the rough things. It's not a bad deal. Not a bad deal. That's probably a decent computer if you take care of it. It's liable to last you a few years. Yep. All right. What else?
On that one, I got a 99% decrease.
Can you do problem?
It's not even that kind of problem.
I don't get what I'm supposed to do. And none of them make sense. Except
It's possible that you didn't watch all the notes video. Because we did these in there too. This is a different type of problem.
I don't want to discuss.
We did, somebody asked for something?
40.
40. Okay.
I'm gonna write it down. No, oh.
Number 40.
Can we do 34 after this?
Possibly. The current price of each share of a technology company is $135. If this represents, oh, this is a nice problem because it kind of twists up our formula some. If this represents a 16.2% increase over the past year, what was the price per share a year ago? Okay, so this problem is a little bit different, right? Okay, so let's see if we can build a kind of a formula for what's happening. So we've got several different quantities going on here, so it might be useful if we kind of start labeling what's happening. So there was a old price. There's a current price and an old and a price a year ago. So price P. We learned a way a few weeks ago because we were, or maybe it was last class. We learned a way to make a variable that's like the old one. What could we add to this variable to make this be like the old one? We could do P naught, right? Okay. So that's the old price.
P is nothing.
And then there's the current price. We can just call that P. Or if you want to do P2, that'd be fine too. That's the current price.
Wait, the problem is 40? What?
This is 40. Would you quit that, please? Thank you. Okay. We have a percent increase, right? Percent increase. Anything else? Any other variables happening? Current price, price per share a year ago, percent increase. Okay, so what all of these three quantities do we know? We know the percent increase. That's true.
Wait, what did you put on?
This is page 122. So it's a 2%. We've got to convert that to a decimal, so that would be 0.162, right? Do we know any other things?
How much it is?
How much? We've got two prices, so how much it is now or old?
Old.
No, it says the current price.
Yeah, that's what I said.
That's maybe what, that is what you said at first, but then you said old, and so I don't know what happened. $125. To do percent increase, you find the percent of the number, and then you.
135.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
You find a percent of the number, and then you add it to the old thing. There's actually a shortcut way to do it, but we won't complicate things. Okay. So the formula that we would end up doing would be the original price.
Mine is.
Stop. We need to make this be a, how about rate? Or, that sounds fine. Would be the original price times the percentage plus the original price would equal the final price, right? Right? So now we start shoving stuff in this thing. We don't know this one, but we do know this. 0.162 P naught plus P naught equals 135. What are you asking?
Would there be another on the other side of it?
What other side of what?
P naught times 0.16.
This is P naught right there.
What happened to the R?
Because this is the R.
You just shoved it in there.
I substituted it in there. We've done this lots where you like put a number in for a letter. This 0.162 is the R. I think what's confusing you, let me add a chunk, because I think what's confusing you is the order that it's written in. We usually write numbers in front of variables. And so I just wrote the 0.162 and then P naught. And so that's what happened. Because I think that, yeah. How do we solve that? We do add. What did you say? We combine? Is that what you said? No, we don't want. No. Okay. So the last couple of quizzes are a good indication. And actually, when we finish this, instead of doing a quiz right away, we're going to go back. We're going to take questions on those old quizzes because they were ugly, and we can't like leave them ugly. So at this point, this fits in with some of those old quizzes and some of the problem. Our first goal when there's more than one variable is to get the variables together. Is to put them together. They are on the same side, so now we can combine like terms. Which wouldn't be a problem that is cropping up in different places is you wouldn't subtract them. You just do whatever it is, because they're on the same side. We only change signs if we go across the equals. That's the only time we would change signs. Okay? So we're just adding 0.162 plus whatever's in front of here. What's in front of here? No, what's in front of P naught? 1, that's right. So 1 plus that is what? Yeah, 1.162. So 1.162 P naught. Okay? That 1.162 is connected. Stop doing that. Put it down, then you'll be less tempted to do it again. How is it attached to the P naught? Multiplied. So how do we get rid of it? Divide it. So we divide by 1.162. Another problem that I'm seeing creep in some different places is you're trying to get the stuff off the variable. So don't divide the thing that's over by itself. Even if the variable's over here, you still are dividing the thing that's the variable, on the variable, okay? So what's 35 divided by 1.162? 116,179. Now this is in dollars, so what do we need to do? Round, so it would rounded to how many dollars? Well, we wouldn't round to the nearest dollar, and even if we did, it'd be 116, because that's a 1, right? So it wouldn't push it up. So $116.18. Does that make sense? You kind of mumbled what you said, so I'm not quite sure what language.
Was that a pun?
Was what a pun?
We're working around money.
Oh, does it make sense? I guess it technically was a pun. It was definitely an unintentional pun.
It was a surprise, but it wasn't
I couldn't resist.
surprising, but it was a surprise.
I thought you were like saying, "Sehr gut" or something. Like you were saying we did a good job in some other language or something.
I do have a problem with mumbling. This is true.
Well, you're not alone. There's lots of people that mumble. I think sometimes where your mumbling comes from is you have a thought and you say it real quick. And so it comes out real fast. And so it's less a typical mumble and more of just,
Speak
was that a pun?
Really fast. You speak really fast.
Yeah.
I would not be able to tell. That's hilarious.
Okay. What other questions from this lesson?
Can we do 34?
Sure.
34.
That one was not way too fast. We got a $125 jacket.
Would you prefer I drew it out?
It depends on the category. It depends on the category of jacket.
I know.
Like if that's a leather jacket, that's like dirt cheap. That's like Yeah.
But like,
If it's like a fleece or something, you could probably find something that's about as good for half the price if you look.
$5 jacket? My goodness.
I mean, adult size jackets, I mean, 125 bucks is for like a legit jacket. Like a shirt, that's scary. But people do that all the time. People spend like all kinds of crazy money. But this one, this $125 jacket has a discount of something, right? Where'd it go?
25%?
Is it?
Yes, yes, 25%.
Okay.
1,034.
Okay, what do we do? Okay,
I said I was imagine.
imagine, but you did mumble too, so.
That's my.
We got the mumble corners. Okay, now what? Yeah, great. So what's 125 times 0.25?
$31.25.
So that's okay. But
Did you say 34?
I said 31.
Oh, yeah.
Now you're mumbling.
Sorry.
Or I just have old ears, I don't know. What? 125 minus 31.25?
Oh, no.
That-
Maybe we're not mumbling. Maybe
So,
it's something.
Then 93.75.
okay, $93.75.
There you go.
That's another thing, and I've been saying this for a few days already, but I will say it again, possibly with different words that I've said it in the past. This needs to be everybody's normal practice. Before you touch this, think, what do I expect to happen after I get through with this? Right? Because if you would have done that, you're quite smart enough to know that there's no way 1,000 is what I'm going to get out of this, right? And if you would have stopped to think, what am I expecting? You would have realized, oh, I must have punched something in wrong. I mean, I know you're like trying to rush and win the contest, but everybody, if the contest is causing problems, the contest is going away.
It's not the contest, we're just trying to go fast so we can launch the llama.
No, we're not gonna launch the llama. Actually, we're done launching the llama. I've had an idea about when we get done early. Last class gave me an idea,
Last class?
and it's
I don't like last class.
That's quite scary.
yeah. So we're not gonna launch the llama anymore.
Yay.
We're gonna do math, which is good. Which is good because that's like the whole point of the class. Any other questions?
Can we do 36 or 38?
Yeah.
Because I think yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think I like did a step wrong. I tried to, put together the tax and the discount, and I don't think that worked out for me. So,
No, that's not what you would do.
yeah.
A phone charger on 37.
And actually, depending on how these particular problems, depending on how their register is set up, they could give you a different answer, depending. But we're going to assume that you do them in order. So discount, then tax. All right, so we got $37.99 sweater, which is a pretty good price for a sweater. $37.99. Now you go to Kohl's in the clearance section, you might get something even cheaper, but it's got a discount of 12%. And then you go to the register and it's taxed at some amount of money, 6.25%. Which is less than our sales tax, but we don't have property tax because Texas is smart.
0.12, 0.060.
Yes. 0.12 for this one and 0.0625. Good job. Now what would we do?
Add the divide
Well,
the
you said discount first, so you
Are y'all quite through fighting over the chair? Yes. You multiply the things. Now, you ready to see, well, this is a discount, so never mind. I'm not going to tell you a shortcut because it's more confusing when we're going down than it is when we're going up. When we're going up, it's easy. Like if this was a 12% markup, you could do both of the steps in one by just, instead of multiplying by 0.12, you could multiply by 1.12. But anyway, so multiply this times 0.12. And we get what? Did you think first before you typed? Somebody's not even typing, but he is thinking. Good job.
5.8.
Are y'all quite through?
No.
What number did we get?
4.55.
Stop it! He started, let him finish.
4.5588.
Sounds like a radio station.
And we're subtracting that from 37.99. Good catch. Good thinking.
Good job.
Good thinking. 33 point what? What were you asking?
No.
You sure?
You see, my calculator got a negative.
That's because you did 4 point that minus this, which is what he did. But here's the thinking that we got to catch. When we have different signs, you subtract and keep the sign of the bigger one, right? So y'all remember, calculators are dumb. They have no brains. They only do what you tell them. So you have to have the brains of the thing. So you got to stop and have the brains. So now what would we do? We got to pay the government. Yeah. How? Don't write on my table. Not yet. We're not done.
Plus the tax?
Yeah, we got to get the tax though. We haven't even calculated the tax yet. What do we do to do that?
Something that I'm trying to think of.
It's a percent. We always find a percent of something. What does of mean?
Multiply.
Multiply. Thank you. So what is that times 0.0625? 2.08945.
That's why I stopped talking. Good job.
What should we do now? Add.
Dude, this is mine.
30 what?
31.
No, stop. Think before you type. Look, put that down. We're adding this plus this. Should we get a bigger number or a littler number?
Bigger.
Yeah, so try again. $35 and how many cents? 52 cents.
52. I got probably 50
You got 51, 51 something, right?
My two key didn't work. I'm 43.2. Listen
Ah.
to him, not me.
Yay. So cool.
53 point what?
50.
53
Wait,
point,
55?
what?
I just got
$35 and how many cents?
55, but why is it 55?
I don't know.
I got 50. Or,
Oh.
or if I said 50.
Okay, let's do this again. Let's do this again. 33.4312.
Oh,
No, it is.
8 plus 3.
35.52.
Yeah, 35.52.
Yeah, I didn't put it in
I
three.
was right.
Yes, you were.
What do you know?
I didn't put
What
it.
do you
The
know?
3 decided not to cooperate.
What do you know?
I should have watched my videos, but I don't know what.
Okay.
I don't have one.
Anybody else have any other questions from this lesson?
What's that? I think it's in my resistor.
We're going to take a quiz.
Yay.
That's his resistor.
That's possible.
Because I always think
Yep. It's either yours or mine, probably.
Let's just do that.
yeah, this one
It's
breaks.
definitely not his, so.
Is there resistors in calculator?
Yes.
I told you so. Where are my 5 books?
Quiz
You were right. So
2.6.
2-7.
2.6.
Page.
it is 2-6.
Yeah, but I decided to write lesson
What day?
based on the lesson.
It's not a lesson. I hate this.
See, Sean took me the thing I did. I'm so cool.
No one else.
I'm so cool.
You just
Oh,
take you did.
121 numbers 1 and
One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
Wait, what time is it? Jack called me in class and told me
11.
1-7.
Only one? Sweet.
1, 11.
I hate one.
Four,
We always do 11.